Namaste and welcome to class. And thank you so much for sitting with me this beautiful day here in Chia, my sister's house, so beautiful. And in today's class, I want to talk about nervous system and your ability of being touched. There are different kinds of being touched. And the number one is your physical touch that transmit everything of where you are and who you are in that moment. If I touch this plant, this beautiful orange tree, amazing, it will synchronize with me automatically. This is the capability of nature to adjust itself through the touch. It's not a secret, right? When we grow a plant and we care for the plant and we touch the plant grow. And if we feel sad or we feel sick, we touch the plant harmonize itself with our own energy. Since the nervous system is designed for communion, is designed to receive information, the touch through the senses is the touch of the hands, it's the touch of the earth, and through the feet is the touch of you, how you touch with sight, which is super, super powerful. What you see with that full attention is you're touching through your sight, through your awareness. That's why the present moment, when you touch the present moment, you are in full attention from your third eye. So physically you have your senses, right? All your senses either touch or you've been touched. When you hear, you've been touched, and that is creating certain wave patterns in your brain, especially in the response of your pituitary gland, that is going to send the information of how you should command that information and respond to that information. Then is the skin, is your sensual part that is so important for the nervous system. How you touch, if you have a partner, if you're sexually active, how you been touched and how you touch your partner. Because in equal way that this tree will synchronize with my frequency, the energy field of your partner will synchronize with yours. And this is specifically important for women, because in the moment that we are being touched, especially in a sensual way, we are recording. The body is recording that, because we are in the reception mode, in the mode of receiving the energy, receiving the counterpart of that energy. So physically, we have that sensorial kind of touch with the different degrees of where it comes from, right? It can come from lust, it can come from affection, it can come from punishment. It will come from where you are, not necessarily mentally, but subconsciously, right? I can be pretending to touch a child with great care and love. I love my child, but inside I am in distress. I am judging myself. I am saying, oh, if I don't touch my child, then he will be handicapped or something. The child will feel the subconscious rather than the actual initial intention you have. So this is very important, is always recording, your body is always recording the subconscious of others. When you are more subtle, naturally you are being aware of that impact, right? And you naturally say no. For example, for me is when I go to restaurants and I see that the food have been touched with certain agitation, and if I eat it 10 minutes later, for sure I will be feeling exactly how that person is. That is not a bad thing, because it works in two ways, right? Whatever I eat, then that person, I have been touching that person through my awareness. So I have the capability of rising that energy of that agitated cook by me being aware and by me accepting it and calming it down. So it goes in two ways, right? From time to time, let's say I take a bite of a fish, a fish that it wants certain awareness, or it was necessary for that fish to have certain elevation of frequency. So the touch works in two ways, no? So that's why you say, oh no, I don't touch this, or no. Extremes are not healthy. Extremes is part of the ego and become a dogma. Them is your soul touch, how your soul touch you. And the nature of your soul touch you in three ways. One is by giving you the daily bread, as Jesus say. Every day, right in the morning, in the sunrise, the soul is sending you an email. And it's an email about awareness, not about what you need to do, because what you do, you have the freedom to choose in the way you want to do it. For example, if I in the morning say, you should talk about sustainability, you should talk about the change of frequency and how we need to learn to sustain the frequency in a long way with no agitation, then my freedom is to express it. How? I usually do the videos, the lesson, or I talk to with my partner, or I paint, or I cook, or I sustain the thought of that so I can expand that thought in contemplation. That is your freedom. You can have your own style of how you sustain that energy. But your soul every day is sent you a pure seed of awareness that is corresponding and mirroring your external creation. Exactly what that you need to be aware depending of your external circumstances. Is in cohesiveness with your experiences and with what are you learning and with your availability to receive the information. So the soul touch you every day and in a constant way. And it will send you the same exact telegram until it syncs, until it covers all 108 modalities and expression. It can be the same exact message, but it will have a different kind of tones, a different kind of perspective, that it will come to you in different ways, mirroring it from the external. Your creation will mirror it, because anything that the soul touch in your heart, in your body, immediately go outside without you knowing, because it's subconscious. And that will manifest in what we call events or circumstances that are new. Not necessarily circumstances that are the same. Then you pay attention. So this is new, this is different. I see it differently. I see myself interacting differently. Then you have learned. And then the next lesson will be send it, and you will be touched again. So how often you get touched by your soul, it depends on the availability and respond ability you have and with that information. So in that way, the nervous system have the flow from conscious to subconscious, from subconscious to conscious, and you are growing and you are being touched by your soul. Now, your soul also loves you. And that is the main inspiration of your soul, to touch you in different ways. If you don't listen to that message, daily message, it will splash you. It will raise the volume. Let's say if you're abusing your boundaries at these times, that boundaries is of incredible importance in terms of from where you are giving and from where you are receiving. And the boundaries of dimensions, where you dimension that you were 3 months ago, of how you thought about who you were and how you are now, is obsolete. So that boundary of dimensions said, no, I'm not going to operate from the past. I'm going to operate from the center of being touched in the new frequency that is indicating expansion, love, and commitment to joy. Oh, you will say, oh, this is so exciting. Joy. Yes, I am able to receive it right away. I can be touched by joy and I will be happy. Well, how long can you maintain it? And that's where I'm talking here about sustainability. How much are you able to sustain that love, that being touched by your soul? The ego will cripple, say you cannot be joyful, you should be guilty. Let's find a problem so you can sabotage your own joy. Oh, maybe the best sabotage is to think that you have a problem and that you are a problem and that you need to fix yourself. And then you go in that tendency of the 90s where, let's work in the shadow. Let's work in something that, I'm working hard on better myself, and I'm working better and, fixing myself and be a better being, and all that modifications and mutilations and violence that have been very popular and masqueraded by healing modalities and conversations and false teachers and false counselors that just make you work in something that doesn't exist. All that at the end is just distracting you from having the simplicity of being touched by your soul, by your higher self, and obeying that command, obeying that inspiration that is sweet, that is lovable, that it leads you towards expansion. So what do you do with joy? How much can you sustain it? This is a very important question in your fridge. Today, how stable I am in my joy. And that simple behind a smile, I call it, where you can be serious, but behind your content, you have the ashtanga, you have the conviction and feeling that you've been touched, lovable, in a loving way by your soul, and that it will never, ever abandon you. So you don't need to prove to your soul that you're good. You don't need to go into places of, I need to be perfect in order to be loved. You don't need to go in places of working to deserve love. You don't need to go into situations where you beat yourself up and say, see how much I'm suffering, I deserve love. It is of tremendous importance that you allow your soul to touch you in a simple way, because this is it's a sense of guidance, a loving guidance that is the touch of soul. Now comes the third type of touch, and it's the touch of your spirit. It's the touch of the vacuum of the universe, the resonance of the universe, the multidimensionality of the universe, the endlessness of the universe, the namelessness of the universe. It's been touched by your own source. It's been touched by what you really are. That is away from any commands or inspiration of any kind. It's just existence itself. It's belonging itself. It's the sense of permanency that is eternal. And that can be translated to I exist forever. And that conviction, when you touch and allow to be touched by that, you become fearless, you become happy and beyond emotions, stable, happy, joyful, with no need of any sabotage, because it's you, it's your nature. You don't have any other place to be than that. It's to accept equally the abolition of any time and space. You operate beyond time and space. So you gain much more fluidity in the space. You can be in Colombia one day, you can be in Peru and another day, and you feel equally at home. Yeah, your body may feel the vata increasing and you need to take certain measurements to control that tiredness. But you are equally at home. You have fluidity in space and now. So in that spirit, how the spirit taught you is it creates a capsule around you that is self-sufficient in life force, which is vitality, or expressed in vitality, is self-contained in knowledge and inspiration, which is only to your universe, is only applicable to your particular, I won't say character because it's beyond character, to your own nature. So it have the individual nature, but also have the similarity of all that exists. And that communion create this bubble, that unity where you live and when you observe, and you have a complete control of what comes in, what touch you, and how you want to touch others, right? And in here we need to be aware that how you've been touched is always with love, always with eternity, always with expansion, always with life, always with wisdom. And what you give have to be in the same way, in the same frequency. For example, you don't give to lazy persons, right? Why you want to give or help lazy persons? It's not going to flourish. Your energy, it will drop through that person. You don't help people that are not available to the teachings or to your energy. You don't. You simply gaze, observe, but your energy is contained. You must be prepared to be labels, oh, this person is so cold and so on. But it's not that. It's called discernment. It's called boundaries. You don't help either persons that are in different dimensions. If a person that is operating in the dimension of the ego, let's say, that is inflicting pain to himself, victim, tyranny, manipulations, distortions, why you want to give your energy to that dimension? That dimension is not able to sustain yours, the energy of the spirit. Yeah, you may give something, but it's not investing your energy. And that is part of the sustainability of how you being touched, how you are able to translate, I've been touched by my spirit, my soul, my body, and I express it, I give it. That way the cycle of the heart, it moves and create a circle of contentment, a circle of love, a circle of balance, right? Because the heart is all about balance. It's not only the sentimental love, but it's the balance of what I give, what I receive, how I receive, from where place I receive, and how I am giving, right? This is true in many relationships where you are receiving from an ideal partner. You think of that partner, of how it should be. So let's say, oh, this partner is not talkative, or is not expressive, or is too hyper, or is whatever produce certain discomfort in you, or a stimulation for you to grow. And then you create an idea of how that partner should be. So it should be talkative, it should be attentive to me, it should be taking me shopping, and so on and so forth. So you are actually receiving from a holographic creation of yours, which it have no life by itself. It's an invention. So you being touched by nothing, you are just in a house of mirrors, in a house of illusion, right? So that kind of touch is not going to feed you. That kind of touch is the opposite. It creates certain crash with the natural touch of your soul and your spirit. So you must be aware, is it from what place I am receiving? Is it from my mind? Is it from my imagination? Is it from my place of wanting to be perfect, of wanting to be enlightened, of wanting to perform good, of wanting to be something that I imagine I should be? Because from that you will be given. Then you give, it's okay, I want to be a spiritual, then I have to behave as spiritual, so I won't feel, I will reject any violence or something, not knowing that that violence is part of you. You have the violence inside, and if you're seen and being exposed, it's in you. So it's important to see from what place you've been touched, right? And the only one who can actually nourish you is the place of authenticity, the place of relaxation, a place of simplicity. Let the non-time, the now, the acceptance, the expansion to touch you, to love you. So in the receiving and in the giving, in the touch, your nerves can expand from the physical, expand to the network of your soul, in connection to all other souls, contracts, and so on, and can expand to the spirit, completely a touch of your own environment, your sacred environment, you deplete the environment. That creates a sense of contentment inside. Mostly that you don't need to be acknowledged to exist in that peace. That you are not seeking to be acknowledged to gain peace. This is so, so important because we are really hungry to be acknowledged. We create vanity, we create an image, we create work, we create all kind of projections for us to be loved. And really is that when we have not acknowledged the type of touch that you are able to receive, you're able to sustain. Be honest and see where you are in terms of being touched. But I tell you, your resistance is futile because at this moment, creation is touching you constantly, 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 with new information, with new desire of expansion. If you are already in that realm, your job now is to sustain it, not to deviate it. Keep concentrated. Know where you're going. Don't betray your joy. Don't betray your happiness. Don't betray your expansion. I thank you very much for sitting with me, and I'll see you in our next class. Namaste.